Let's talk about the iPhone 17 Pro Max. With the current iPhone lineup, that's the 17 series, I think Apple may have made the buying decision a lot more difficult than years past, but for all the right reasons. The regular iPhone 17 Pro, that's the regular size non Max version, it gives you almost the exact same experience as the Pro Max. But that was also the case with the previous generation. The real challenge comes from the regular iPhone 17. That's the base model iPhone, and it's gotten so much better this year. Now, if you really want the pro features like the very best battery life, the absolute best cameras, and the largest screen possible, then one of the pro models is probably actually going to make good sense for you. But if things like that really don't matter to you, you might honestly be happier with the regular iPhone 17, or in some cases, even the smaller, less expensive iPhone 17e. I've been using the iPhone 17 Pro Max as my personal phone since the day it launched, so I have a lot more experience with this phone than I normally would when reviewing an iPhone. And today, I'm going to walk you through what it's actually like to use this phone daily. The good, the trade-offs, the features that actually matter in real-world use, and a few things this phone can do that the regular iPhone 17 and thus the 17e simply cannot do. So let's make sure you pick the right phone for what you actually need without wasting money on features you really don't care about. Hey, if you're new here, very quick intro. My name is Dan Fox, and for over 30 years, I've been professionally helping people with technology. On this channel, I try to keep things simple and focus on how this stuff actually works in real life instead of just throwing specs and benchmarks at you. Now, one of the first things that really stands out about the Pro Max is just how big this phone is. And if you've not had a Pro Max size phone, it feels a little bit odd at first. The regular Pro model and the regular iPhone 17 are pretty much the same size, although the Pro is a little heavier. And these aren't small phones, but they're also not gigantic phones. The Pro Max, on the other hand, it feels a little bit ridiculous at first. It is a very large phone. Now, if you've ever seen any of my other buying guides or reviews, remember, I always include a few cheat sheets at the end to help simplify all the models and help you with the buying process. Now, for me, I still really enjoy that larger display on the Pro Max size because I spend a lot of time on my phone every day. But I have to be honest, after testing the regular 17 recently, it definitely has me considering the smaller, non-max size Pro the next time around. Now, that said, this giant screen for the Pro Max is still excellent for things like editing photos, videos, if you watch a lot of YouTube or streaming. If you use it for, say, things like a drone controller, that extra real estate on screen is really nice. It also gives you more room for typing with your thumbs, and maybe it's because I've been using these larger phones for years, but I did struggle a little bit when I switched to the 17 and the 17e doing reviews for those phones. Probably just take some time to get used to it. If you wear glasses or contacts like I do, having the extra screen space is honestly really nice because you can increase the text size without everything suddenly feeling cramped. And if you have increased the text size on your phone, reading websites is easier, messages, emails, and on the Pro Max, all this still feels very spacious. But there are trade-offs. Like I mentioned, it is a large phone. It's a very heavy phone. In things like your pants pocket, you can definitely feel the weight, especially if you use things like a pop socket or an attached wallet. And unless you have very large hands, which I don't, it's almost nearly impossible to use with one hand. Now, I have to be honest, I've been ordering the largest iPhone since it came out in 2014 with the iPhone 6 Plus. I haven't even considered a smaller phone. I just immediately ordered the largest one. And consider that since that phone came out, the largest model iPhones have got even bigger. But now that I've recently spent some time testing the iPhone 17e, more recently the iPhone 17, and now switching back to my Pro Max, it sometimes makes me wish I had a smaller phone. Now, don't get me wrong here, this is an awesome phone. Technically, it's the very best one you can get. And if you already know you want the biggest screen, the absolute biggest battery, coupled with the most capable camera system Apple offers, then the Pro Max is an easy answer for you. Now, taking a quick walk around the device here, on the right side, you've got the lock screen button that's on every iPhone, but down below it here, you have the dedicated camera button. Now, Apple launched this button with all these swiping and menu features, but most people just disable this and use it so you can click it to open the camera app and click it again to take the photo. And for that, it's very useful. Now here on the bottom, you have a USB-C connection, and on either side of those, you have your microphone and speaker holes. On this side of the phone, you've got your volume up and down buttons, and then the action button above that. If you're not familiar, you can configure this for various things. Mine's configured as a flashlight on my phone. Now here on the back, it does have MagSafe, which allows you to use things like wireless chargers or magnetic wallets and mounts and things like that. It has this 3-camera system here at the top. It does have a flash and it does have LiDAR, and then there's the microphone hole in between. This 3-camera system is what separates the Pro models from the others, probably most significantly. Now, before we get deeper into the cameras, I want to quickly talk about the display itself because this screen is really nice. It's huge, it gets extremely bright, colors look fantastic, and everything feels incredibly fluid when you're scrolling around or navigating through apps. And yes, the regular iPhone 17 also gets that crazy smooth technology this year. It's called a high refresh rate, and that's great because it used to be limited to just the Pro models. But on the Pro Max, that technology combined with this massive display makes the whole experience just feel extremely premium. It also includes this black pill shape at the top of the screen that Apple calls Dynamic Island. Now, if you're not familiar with this, it's basically this little area that can show you things like timers, music controls, maps directions, incoming calls, and other background activities while you're using the phone, even when you're in other apps. And honestly, once you get used to this, it is surprisingly convenient. The Pro Max also has this always-on display. So when the phone locks, it can still show things like the time, notifications, or whichever widgets you've customized to be on screen when it's locked. As far as speed and performance go, this thing is extremely fast. Apps open almost instantly, gaming is excellent, video editing is excellent, everything just feels quick and responsive. Oh, and if you often copy files between your iPhone and things like external hard drives, the connection is much faster on the Pro models than any other iPhone. Okay, let's talk about the cameras, because if anything, this is where most people notice the difference in Pro models, and I would argue it's why most people buy the Pro phones. The 3 cameras on the back give you more zoom levels to work with. You've got that ultra-wide 0.5 shot for those really zoomed out, almost action camera looking photos. You've got the normal 1x view, you've got a 2x zoom, and then exclusive to the Pro models, you also get a longer 4x and 8x zoom. And unlike some features that sound impressive on paper but really don't matter in real life, these extra zoom levels are genuinely useful. For things like concerts or sporting events, maybe your kids performing on stage, and my personal favorite use of this, wildlife. Anywhere you simply can't get close enough, these zoom levels come in really handy. Low light photos and videos look great, so much better than years past. And there's some new things in here that you may not be aware of if you haven't upgraded iPhones in a while. For example, the Pro Max will do what's called macro photos, where you can get super close to stuff like a leaf or a bug, and the photo still comes out very clear. You can also record videos in something called cinematic mode. This is basically like a portrait mode, but for videos, and you can change the focus both during and after you've recorded the video. So, as an example, right now I'm in focus, but if I tap on the dog, now he's in focus and I'm out of focus. If I tap back on myself, now I'm back in focus again. But you can actually do this after you've recorded the video. So if you wanted something in focus that was blurry, in the edit, you can change it after, which is really neat. Now, another setting exclusive to the Pro models is the ability to record video at 120 frames per second. And I know it sounds like I'm getting a bit into the tech specs, but this essentially means you can slow down your footage after, right in the Photos app to get super clear slow motion footage. Now, the iPhone 17 Pro Max has all the options you would expect in a modern iPhone camera, with things like time lapse, being able to take portrait mode photos, and all those types of things. I've made a full video on the Apple Photos app that digs much deeper into this. If you get a chance to check out that video, I'll put a link in this video's description. And overall, this camera system is just more capable. Now, as always, I'm not going to get deep into tech specs here, but if you're really into photography or video work, there are some high-end pro features on the 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max that none of the other iPhones get. Things like shooting photos in a RAW format. If you're not familiar with this looks worse until you go back in and edit it, but it gives pros more flexibility when editing because the photo's not been made to look better by the iPhone itself when you take the photo. There's also more advanced video recording modes like 120 frames per second video recording. This in particular is nice if you want high resolution, super smooth slow motion videos. It also supports ProRes video. That's a format that gives pros more editing options later for videos, but these files are absolutely massive. You can also shoot in log, which basically records videos looking flat for editing options later. You can record directly to an external hard drive. Now, this can only be done with those pro formats mentioned, and again, with those gigantic files. Now, these features won't matter to many people, but they're worth mentioning because for the people who do care about them, they can be really useful and they're only available on the Pro models. Now, I've tested all these features and options, and for someone like me, I'm not a professional photographer, I'm not a professional videographer. The workflows are just a little bit too much work, and I'm just as happy with the amazing photos and videos that come right out of the iPhone and those regular shooting modes. If you're a pro, you might be cringing at this, but I feel like for most people that are using their iPhones that aren't pros, it's really just not worth the hassle. You also get the upgraded selfie camera feature here in the Pro Max model. The selfie camera can automatically widen out when more people step into frame, and to me, more importantly, you can take wide shots without having to rotate your phone sideways in your hand. You can also use this dual camera video mode where the front and back cameras record at the same time. When Apple announced this, I thought I will never use it, but I actually use it quite a bit. If you're sending a video to friends and family and you also want to have it more personal where you're still talking to them in the video while you're trying to show them something, it's kind of nice actually. And speaking of which, I want to personally thank all of you that have continued to help support my channel. I'm blown away at all the positive feedback and all the positive comments. I love it and I really appreciate it. If you're finding value in this video, please consider giving it a like. This kind of stuff really does help me out. And if you're not already subscribed and you find this type of straightforward tech content useful to you, make sure you do subscribe and hit that little notification bell so you don't miss any future videos from me. Again, I genuinely do appreciate it. Now, one area where the Pro Max still stands out is battery life. It is excellent. Even on really heavy use days with using the cameras, maybe GPS and maps, social media, streaming a bunch of stuff, Bluetooth devices, phone calls, you name it. I routinely finish the day with over 20% of my battery left. So if you use your phone heavily all day long, the extra battery life on the Pro Max is definitely something you're going to notice. And if you travel a lot, this might also be a factor. Now, to quickly cover a few basic obvious things, call quality, excellent. Speaker quality, absolutely excellent. Bluetooth performance works well. MagSafe works exactly like you would expect it to. Face ID, fast and reliable as usual. And overall, this whole phone feels extremely polished. Everything works exactly the way you would expect it to. And as I touched on at the beginning of the video, here's 3 cheat sheets that should help you decide which one is the right one for you when it's time to make the purchase. The first sheet is based on the size of the phone. The second sheet is based on the features of each phone. And then the third sheet is based on the price of each phone. Pause the video, take a screenshot of each of these when you get a chance because I'm not going to leave them on screen long enough to read everything here, but I hope these really do help you. So where does that leave the iPhone 17 Pro Max? Honestly, I think this is one of the best iPhones Apple has ever made. I know they say that every year, and I suppose it's technically true every year. But as someone who does, in fact, upgrade every single year, this one just feels complete. The battery, the camera, everything is fully polished and totally baked in, and I have had 0 issues with this phone since it launched. But I also think this is one of the first years in a long time where the decision is less obvious, because the regular iPhone 17 is excellent. The Pro Max becomes the choice for people that really want just the largest screen you can get and the absolute longest battery life you can get. But honestly, if these features and the other ones mentioned don't really matter to you, if you really don't care about having the absolute largest screen or the absolute longest lasting battery, if you don't care about the extra camera zooms or being able to shoot in those pro formats, if you're not going to use that high frame rate for super slow motion videos, and if you don't care about faster transfer speeds, if you don't intend to connect external hard drives to your phone to transfer files back and forth, then my recommendation would really be to take a hard look at the iPhone 17 non-Pro model, just a regular iPhone 17. I'll put a link in the description of this video to my review of that phone, but that phone has really impressed me this year. But if even one of the features in this list are something that you really want, then you're going to need to get one of the Pro models. And honestly, you're probably going to love it. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you decided to get one of the new iPhones, let me know in the comments which one you got and what you think of it so far. And if you're still trying to decide and you still have questions or need more information, please feel free to ask me down in the comments. I read every single one and I respond to every single comment, except for maybe the really mean ones. Anyway, I really want to thank new channel members also up on screen right now. You guys are amazing and I cannot thank you enough. All right, that's it. I'll see you next time.